Evening all, Louise here. Right. Yet again, I was going to do a different reading tonight, but then I have just read something and I have to do the read. Well, not just a bit back. I have to do a reading on this. So if you're waiting for a reading that you've requested, my apologies. I have to do a reading on this. If this is true, then there is a serious question about Labour people, Labour members, Labour councillors, participation, shall we say, in election fraud. Right. So I've written some notes down because I don't want to get any of this wrong. So, in a tweet by Councillor Liam Billington, he has said that he's got a copy of the receipts and he will be handing these receipts into the police, and they come directly from this Triggermead Timbers group chat. This is the group chat that's seen Andrew Gwynn removed from his health secretary position. And apparently 11 other councillors have now been suspended. Now, I don't know whether some of these councillors I'm about to name are some of those councillors that have been suspended, but this is how the story goes. The story goes that in Audenshaw, during the election, Daniel Mather was looking like he was going to win, and Councillor Brenda Warrington, who was the former council lead, had instructed staff to find votes. Now, Andrew Gwynn, who's just been removed, had the whip removed, confirmed in this chat that this finding of votes was done and 83 votes were found. So, in order to find these votes, apparently, they removed votes from a Labour candidate, Councillor Lee. Looks like Drennan. I can't read my own writing. So some votes were removed from this councillor, who then lost to Councillor Dan Costello. And it's well known that Brenda Warrington, the former council lead that put out these instructions, and this Councillor Lee Drennan, did not get on. So removing votes from one councillor to give to another councillor, and as a consequence, Daniel Mather lost by 83 votes. They found 83 votes and the council lost by 83 votes. You know, when I was smelling a rat yesterday, this rat is now rotting. So I want to just have a quick look and see if this is, 11 further councillors have been suspended from the Labour Party. Are we going to have a by-election? I don't know. But it's ongoing. It's every single day. So I have got my candle lit, but I've moved it already. I've preempted this one. So I'm having a wisdom of the oracle. I'm only going to do a quick reading tonight because I'm absolutely shattered. I've been up since 4:30. A wisdom of the oracle first, and then I'll look at the ordinary Rider-Waite's tarot. So, is this election fraud? What is next? And I've just heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've just heard that King Charles is going to host the leaders of the 4 nations to a sleepover at Windsor Castle. What's that all about? This is the king getting involved in politics again. Right? Well, I mean, if he can't dissolve Parliament because he can't get involved with politics, but yet he can get involved with politics when it suits, I'm sorry to all those people who think the royal family are fantastic. Maybe it's time to revise your opinion, because something's coming down the line and it stinks. I'm sorry, but it stinks. So let's have a wisdom. We have all that glitters. Number 16. So they removed votes from one councillor to give to another councillor, ensuring that a different councillor loses. But when they're removing votes from one councillor, they're giving it to a councillor in a different area. It's to win that seat. It stinks. Number 16. Sometimes an opportunity looks so good that it glitters like gold and you just can't resist it, especially when it appears others are doing so well and have hit the mother lode. During the American gold rush, everyone hurried west to find their fortune, and then deserted entire towns after the mining depleted the gold veins in the earth. So, too, can you deplete yourself as you chase after the latest shiny thing that has caught your eye? There is a mercurial quality to your present circumstances. Pay no attention to those who chase after fool's gold. Resist the temptation to be jealous of others. What they have achieved may not be the true success you seek, so don't compare yourself to them. You see only the surface right now, only the sparkle. Be assured that you will experience your own shining moment if you stick to what you know. All that glitters may not be gold for you. That's basically telling me that chasing after a dream, this is chasing after the dream, but cheating, basically. There's some cheating going on. You know, when it's not that long ago when Donald Trump was castigated for saying to find votes in a particular area in the 2020 elections, but it seems to me that they're really doing it in the Labour Party, finding votes by removing them from one councillor in a different area to give to a councillor elsewhere. It's not funny. Apparently, the instruction to find votes was 4 hours before the polling stations closed as well. So whether they were actually bussing people in to vote, I don't know. It warrants an investigation by the police, definitely. But that's what this, what's he called, Councillor Liam Billington has said. It was reposted by Alex Phillips and it's on X. It just popped up on my X. I don't really look at X much. It popped up and I just read it because I do like Alex Phillips. I think she's really intelligent, clever, and says it as it is. So what's this situation? We've got two temperance and 9 of Wands and temperance. So this is the Labour Party at the moment. They're a wounded warrior. They're a little bit battered and bruised. They've got the defences up. So that's that one. They've got the defences up right now, battered and bruised. And then we've got the temperance, which is bringing things back to balance. So I think there's an attempt to bring everything back into balance. But the thing is that they are struggling because they've got that, what's her name, that's just been suspended through corruption, whose auntie was a corrupt leader in, I think it's Pakistan, it might be India, don't know, can't remember. But she's gone. Louise Haigh, gone. This, what's he called? Andrew Gwynn, gone. Then there's 11 more councillors, gone. Who's next? So it's like trying to bring everything back into balance. So I think there might be some smoothing over of the waters in the press over the next few days. I'm I'm struggling to see if the mainstream press is even going to report on this, to be fair. I'm not sure if they've reported on the scandal in the first place. I'll be honest, I don't watch mainstream news at all. I gave that one up as a bad job when the pandemic hit, because I could see straight through the bullshit. But you know, there's all sorts going on. Then it's like, why did Keir Starmer have an HIV test? Is it because he's bummed the entire nation, and now he's wondering if he's picked some up? Or is this a precursor to frighten the living shit out of everybody again, like they did with COVID? And then we've got the sun. The sun is the best disinfectant. I think things are going to come to light. A few readings ago, I did say that information is going to be drip fed. It's going to be drip, drip, drip. It just seems to have gathered momentum, and I do believe this is part of a coup to have Keir Starmer, Keir Starmer deposed. So I do believe that's what that's about. This Sun card, it just feels like shedding a light on the real situation. You know, I mean, there's Bridget Phillips, and there's some talk about 16,000 teachers losing the job. I mean, the whole country's, they've managed to piss everybody off, haven't they? Apart from the odd few that just live in a different world. And then we've got the Knight of Cups. So we've got that. This feels like the Knight of Cups feels like making up from an argument, and I don't know why. I wonder if there's some with this sort of like a making it right type thing. It feels like the sun, the light's going to be shone on what's going off, and it goes deeper than we even know. This far deeper than we even know. What's on the surface is soddle compared to what's really gurgling under the surface. It's dodgy as hell. But yeah, we've got the Sun card, and then this feels like a move towards reconciliation. It feels like, right. So what I'm getting now is that the Labour Party may be 400 strong MPs, but they're very much 50-50. They are in two camps. They're like two separate parties. You've got the absolute clowns that we've got in at the moment, and then we've got there's three parties. Yeah, three. So you've got the real far left ones, and then you've got the cabinet that we've got at the moment, which are pretty much Marxist, and then you've got old Labour. There are only a few of them left, but it feels like an attempt to gather the party together and show a united front, because they are very, very split. It feels very, very split, and this night is an attempt to bring everything back under one umbrella. So, yeah, all right. So that's the situation. But what about this election business? So now we've got the Six of Cups. Now this is reminiscence. This is reminiscing from the past. Yeah, okay. I think they're going to try and cut. They're going to try and go back to what Labour was originally, what the purpose of Labour was originally, which was supposed to be for the working class. So I think that's what that's all about. It's going to take some time though. But what about this election business? Is this going to go anywhere? There's more information to come. Basically, there's much more information to come. Someone has the magic 8 ball. there is someone who has all the information, and because they have all the information, I think they're going to let it all out. Now, I'm not sure whether it's a Labour Party member or whether it's somebody else, but it feels like a reporter. The magician doesn't symbolise reporters. It feels like some sort of reporter, some investigative journalist is going to uncover this stuff. These two together. So you've got evening out the balance, light being shone on stuff by some sort of investigative journalist. This could even be a police investigation. And if this councillor, what's he called, Liam Billington, does hand this information over, I doubt very much whether this councillor is going to post on X and not back it up, because it's a very dangerous thing to put that sort of accusation out there without having the receipts. Oh, excuse me. So this feels like either an investigative reporter or a police investigation is going to go on here. There's definitely something happening. They're trying to go back to the old image of Labour for you, for the working class and all that, but the horse is already bolted before they've managed to lock the stable door, so to speak. So right, so we've got this investigation. Is that one? Yeah, we've got this investigation, and then we've got the Empress. Now, the Empress symbolises abundance. It's fertility, something growing, maybe. Feels like, but then this feels like it feels like the Labour Party has just provided rich pickings, because that's what I'm hearing, rich pickings. There's no shortage of a story. There's no shortage of a headline. It's absolutely crazy. I've never known, in my whole life, I've never known that just one political party, whether they're in power or not, has just got scandal after scandal after scandal. It's one thing after another. And there's no completion of the last scandal before another one breaks. It's like we've got this grooming gang business. It's still ongoing. There's still stuff going ahead. I believe there's an extraordinary meeting in Oldham tomorrow to get the council to approve a plea to the government to do a national inquiry on the grooming gangs. It's not completed. This is something that's not completed. They're saying that they've deported all these people, and actually, as it turns out, they've only really deported 5,000 of them, and they've all gone to Eastern Europe. And even then, there's some question mark over whether these figures are actually for real, or whether they've just been massaged, and how they've calculated them. So it's like there's just one thing after another. There's just too much to there's too much going at us. It's from all sides. I think it's done on purpose, just to make us switch our brains off and not engage altogether. And so if the minute we don't engage, the minute we don't know what's going on, the minute we stop being interested in what's going on and educating ourselves into what's going on, that's the moment they've got complete control. Because the minute we go to apathy, we're done for. So this feels like, definitely feels like a multiplication, a growing of scandal. It's just going to keep coming. But is this election? What's the outcome for this? 5 of Swords. So it looks like there's going to be a huge. I think there is going to be a challenge. There is going to be some sort of legal possibly it could be just a big scandal that blows up in the press. If that happens, then it'll all be quieting down in 2 or 3 days, because that's what happens with the press. They have this big push for something, but they don't ever follow it through. And this feels like a challenge, a legal challenge that's not actually followed through, which is disappointing. And then we get this nearly every time for the Labour Party, that there is a spy in the camp. There is a spy that is going to keep going, bringing things to light, growing the evidence, consolidating the evidence. This someone is working very, very hard. I think it's a reporter. I'm not seeing this as police. And then we've got the Emperor as our outcome. So this is a very strong leader, very strategic, very straightforward, strict, fiery. This is the card of Aries. This is the warrior. This is Mars, the warrior planet. This feels like I would say war on the Labour Party. And what we're seeing is a minute piece of it. But when we have the Emperor, when we have this war, is this election fraud? Is this election fraud? Right. Seven of Wands. So this is someone who is in the middle of a battle, but managing to beat everybody off. Is that the Labour Party? Still managing to beat everybody off. Nine of Swords. That's the up at night worrying card, the anxiety card, the worrying about things that haven't happened yet card. They know that they cannot do right for doing wrong. I think they're just out of the depth, completely out of the depth. And there's been there's no question about it. There's been some dodgy shit going on. And then we've got the Four of Cups, which is disappointment. Somebody's going to offer him a helping hand, but I think stubbornness is going to make them say no to that helping hand. So what's the outcome for this election business in Audenshaw? What's the outcome? A new beginning. So this is the end of a cycle, beginning of a cycle, starting out from scratch. It feels like there's going to be a by-election. I would say this is going to be a by-election in that particular area. Maybe they will have to do a recount or a revote or whatever, but I think it's going to take some time, because for all this investigation and all this information to come out, there's lots more information to come out. This spy, this reporter, this spy, this investigation is going to take some time, because this person is like a terrier with a bone. They're not going to let go until it's all out. It feels like a by-election coming. So what about that then? Just as you thought Labour couldn't sink any lower, they come and surprise us all. And God, what world are we living in? Anyway, like I say, hopefully tomorrow, if it all don't kick off and I feel the urge to have to do a reading off the cuff, we'll be back on the requests. So I know a lot of people didn't like my video yesterday because a lot of people didn't like what I said about the king. But you know what? Dig a bit deeper. You know, we can disagree with each other without falling out. Dig a bit deeper. If you don't like a particular reading or you don't like what I say, just dig a bit deeper. You know, we don't have to agree on everything. And if you decide that you want to unsubscribe from my channel because of something I've said, then maybe this channel's not for you. Right, I'm going. I'm going to go and get myself into bed. I'm absolutely shattered. And I'm up at 4:30 again in the morning for another full day of work. So I shall see you soon for another episode of Straighten Your Crown Tarot. Ta-ra!